Hello, Jayanti.
Hi, Levin. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
You
Hi,
can hear
Jayanti.
me, right?
How are you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you, Levin?
I'm good. I'm good. Enjoying the lockdown
Thanks.
pretty much.
Yeah, with kids.
So, again, just I have to mention this to you that I will record this video, as you know, for my YouTube channel,
Hmm.
and
Okay, fine.
you can all because not it's not just you who has these issues or you want some help. A lot of people
Hmm.
actually text me, and this chat can be really helpful to a lot of people. So I hope it's okay recording this.
Yes. Even I wanted it.
Okay. So as you can see, I have prepared some notes based on your resume and
Okay.
based on the conversation we had over the email and Instagram. So just a
Okay.
quick overview. Jayanti actually sent me a message on Instagram that she would like some guidance regarding finding a Django job after her maternity leave, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So when's the big day?
Waiting for it.
Okay. How many months are you into this, like this maternity thing?
1 year break now.
You have a 1 year break. So
Yeah,
your
my
kid.
kids are turning 1 year now.
Okay. No, but so your kid is already born.
Yeah, I have twin babies. Now they are turning one this 12th.
Ah, congratulations. Ah, okay. I thought
Thanks.
you
Thank
are
you.
on maternity leave, as in you are expecting a baby soon. So,
No.
so okay.
I had baby last year.
Ah, okay, okay. Oh, congratulations on twins. That's twins are lucky, you know.
Yeah, a girl and a boy.
Ah, nice, nice. What are their names?
Varsha and Vedansh.
Varsha and
Vedansh.
Vedansh. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Nice to know. Really nice to know. Also, it gives me a clear picture. So, just so you know, I have divided this chat session into multiple phases. So,
Okay.
first, we'll have a brief introduction about you, like what you have done, what do you do, your hobbies. Just tell me about yourself, anything. Okay.
Sure.
Then we'll
Yeah.
talk about your job experience
Hmm.
in few details. Then we'll talk about 5 skills you are very confident about.
Okay.
And then we have a section called as road to recovery, as in you are on leave,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
it would be a really nice idea to brush up on some beginner skills just so you are
Yes.
completely confident about them. And also
Hmm.
I'm going to help you figure out how to search for jobs, because on LinkedIn there
Okay.
are you'll find thousands of jobs. You don't know where to
Hmm.
apply and it can be confusing sometimes. So I'm going to help you
Yes.
figure out how to search for jobs, and also how to learn along the process. Basically the same procedure that I follow, I'm going to tweak it a little bit for your requirement, and
Okay.
we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
let's start with a brief introduction about you. What do you do? Just tell us something about you.
Okay. I have completed my graduation in 2014,
Okay.
and then after 6 months, then I started a job in HCL. There I was
HCL.
working with yeah. There
Okay.
I worked for more than 2 years with the core Java.
Uh-huh.
And then I shifted to Infosys again, where I have worked for 1.5 years. There, that time I wanted to go into Python, so I learned Python on myself. But unfortunately, the project they took me, it was not of Python.
Okay. Okay.
So I realized they are not going to release me. So then I thought to again shift into Python outside.
This
I'll
was
come
much more of a
into
professional introduction. How about you tell
correct.
us something about you? Like what kind of a person you are? Are you the kind of person who likes to communicate, or are you the kind of person who likes to follow? Do you like to have, like, because in a team nowadays, see, 10 years ago, and I say
Uh-huh.
this because I've heard a lot of developer stories
Okay.
from my seniors. 10 years ago, it was only about knowledge. Someone who had the
Hmm.
skills, they
Yeah.
were chosen for the job. But nowadays it's a lot about the personality as well, like who the person really is. Team spirit, can she perform in the team that they have right now, because teams can be different, you know. You need
Yes, yes.
different kinds of people in a team. So tell me about you in general, like what kind of a person are you?
To be frank, I'm a slow learner.
Slow learner, okay, that's
Yeah,
okay. But
yeah.
that also
But
means that you also take your time to become good at something rather than taking the
correct.
shortcut.
Yes, yes. As a person in the team, I don't make quick decisions. Like this was how I did in my past.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't take quick decisions. I take my time. I communicate with my seniors. Then I will take their ideas to
Okay.
implement in my work.
Okay.
And I will choose the best, whichever works. It's not
Okay.
about I want to do only mine.
What about a skill set? Let's say you have a project going on, and the skill set demands something that you're pretty good at. Okay.
Okay.
Like you're really
Mhm.
good at this. So what would you do in that scenario? Would you still follow orders, or would you actually tell your manager that maybe this is not the right way, this is the best way? What kind of a person are you in that context?
Definitely, in that situation, I will argue if mine is going good fit into the project.
Okay. Oh, you don't have to argue, but you can always, like, there is a thing called as, like, you can always have a knack of communication, tell your opinion in a much better way. A lot of times, an argument or some kind of discussion is always necessary, but
Yes,
it's always what's important is you should always give your opinion in the most humble way as possible without creating a
okay.
tension in the team. But if you don't give your opinion, what happens is, the mistake keeps happening, and later on, in 6 months' time, it's gonna come
Mm,
back and haunt you. And because
correct.
your managers and everyone in your team, they're going to think about why it happened, and you will also question yourself why you didn't say about it. It's just going to make your life difficult. So I
Yes,
think
yes.
this is a knack of communication is very important, and I think you should, this maternity leave that you have, you should work on improving your communication skills a little bit. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's always good to, you know, read some novels, listen to some group discussion, have a straightforward conversation that just prepares you for an interview and shows the interviewer what kind of a
Mm,
person you are. Okay. So now that we have done a brief introduction about you, let's talk about your job experience. So you said that you started working with HCL, and
yes.
you worked, and your key skill there was core Java,
Yeah.
which I'm very happy to inform that you would probably be in very heavy demand if you continue in that field, because Java is not going anywhere no matter how many languages come.
Okay.
And also jobs are high paying because there are very few people these days, at least the youngsters, uh, uh,
Mm,
below the age of 35. Since the day languages like Python have come to the market, very few people are actually spending time getting better at core Java. So
yeah.
the systems like the bank systems and the old systems that exist since 1950s, they still run on
Mm,
Java because Java is more efficient than Python. But
yes.
so I would say that it's a very good news for you that there is a high demand for people like you who have such a core competency skill.
Okay.
Um, just wanted to inform you. Then you joined Infosys,
Yes.
and so what kind of Python projects did you work in Infosys?
No, in Infosys, actually, I didn't get a chance to work with Python as I told.
Yeah.
But I was doing like self learning. I didn't stop there, though I was not working with Python.
Okay, so in Infosys, you learned Python, but there was no professional work in Python, so as to say.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And then after Infosys,
I moved to Terralogic, a small kind of startup.
yeah.
There, I actually worked with Python.
Okay, okay, okay. And what kind of work have you done in Python?
Uh, I have did some automation with PyTest framework.
Okay,
and then some kind of implementations, like feature implementations using Core Python,
Okay.
and a few enhancements in Django. Django, I didn't like not great work with the Django, but it
Yes.
was very small things.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So basically, I see that you have experience with PyTest and you have experience
Yes,
with feature development. So basic software development, different kinds of feature.
yeah,
Now, I also read in your resume that you are good at, you have done some RCA.
yeah,
So RCA is root cause analysis, right?
yes, yes,
So I see that you have extended experience with testing.
yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, from your resume, I did not find any experience that is relevant to Django.
That's what I'm telling. I have
Yeah.
not done this great work with Django. It was very small things.
Yeah. So thing is, it's not necessary that you have to mention a project that you did with a company. Something that you do on your own can also be a
Okay,
project that you can showcase in Django. All right. So
okay.
my question to you would be, why Django? Like, why do you want to be a Django developer? Why not continue as a automation tester, for example? Like, because there's a huge market for automated testing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be my first question. Like, why do you want to move into Django, and why not automated testing?
Uh, Maybe I do not have answer for that.
Okay, you just like Django, like to work with Django,
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's it.
okay. See, the thing is, if when a recruiter asks you like this, because they will
Uh,
ask you, okay,
yeah.
because they are specialized in what they do, and I'm just, I'm just a programmer. So if
Mm.
I am asking you, they will also ask you. What you need to explain is, you want, because you love Django framework, and
Okay.
you have loved learning it, and you have a few projects that you have done on your own time, you'd like to work with
Uh-huh.
Django involving automated testing, because these days every website needs to be tested for all its features, all its pages.
Okay.
So your experience
Okay.
of automated testing is only going to enhance your work as a Django developer. Okay.
Okay. I have one very simple project on Django in my GitHub account.
Okay, that helps, that really helps. And what is it about?
It's just a simple bookstore management.
Cool. That helps. That really helps. But do you understand what I mean, right? Like, you should not
Yes.
never say I don't know the answer, because
Mm.
then people might get confused. So try to,
Okay.
you know, you are not lying. Okay. You like Django.
Yeah.
You have experience
Yeah.
in automated testing. So these are
Yes.
things you can actually do. So
Okay.
this is what I mean by communication. So this is
Okay.
something that we should always work on, all of us. So I
Yeah.
hope the idea was clear to you, what I wanted
Yes.
to
Yes.
say. Yes. So that was nice to learn about what you have done. And so now let's talk about your resume. Okay. And
Okay.
this is basically the road to recovery that I told you about. Like,
Mm.
you are on maternity leave, you'd like to get back in the game, and in order to do that, there are few things that you need to change, maybe. um,
Okay.
and there are few things that, actually, the market has changed a lot. While I was working in Netherlands, I
Mm-hmm.
saw, I was heavily involved with a lot of recruiters, because I
Okay.
was verifying CVs, resumes for them. And the
Mm-hmm.
market has changed a lot. So I would like to inform you on how things are going right now, and what things that you can do. So let
Okay.
me share my screen. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, let's go through your resume. Okay, so
Yeah.
very detailed resume, first of all, I must say. Like,
Okay.
you have explained your work in a lot of details. However, my first point for you would be that your resume is a bit too long. You might
Okay.
have read things like, recruiters spend approximately 5 to 7 seconds on every resume, right?
Yes.
Now that is
Yeah.
now that is one huge overstatement. That is not entirely true, but
Mm-hmm.
they know what to look for, what to search for. But still, I would say that resume should be something that not only needs to be attractive, but it also
Okay.
needs to show the key points for that particular
Mhm.
job. Your resume looks like a very generic resume that you
Okay.
have done all kinds of stuff. Like for example, if you're applying for a Django job, I would say this resume will get rejected in the first instance, because
Okay.
I don't see any Django. Like you mentioned to me, you have a Django project in your GitHub account.
Yes.
That's the first thing you should mention, because and
Okay.
you should mention the features that are there in your bookstore management, and what concept
Okay.
have you used for building those features. Like let's say class based views for doing this, automated testing
Okay.
to check if all books are always available, the number of books is never negative, those kind of things, like consistency, availability, all those kinds of things that you have taken care of.
Okay.
Especially, so the thing is, these days generic resumes don't work at all. Your resume needs to change for every job. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's why first of all I would say you need a resume template that you can easily change, because it would be difficult to change it here. So you
Yeah.
need some
Yeah.
kind of a modern resume template that you can easily change for various requirements for various jobs. If it's a Django related job, you need to change your resume so that it shows Django experience and other experience. If you're applying for an
Okay.
automated testing job, it needs to show first automated testing experience and then other experiences, right? So I would say
Yes.
that's the first thing I would change about your resume. A, it's too long. B, it's not specific. Okay.
Okay.
Let me try and see if I can show you my resume. Okay. So here you can see that this is my resume that I built using Novo Resume. This was for a data engineering position. Okay.
Okay.
So you
Mhm.
see, I have written my work experience from the perspective of a data engineer. So I built some kind of reporting website. I built some ETL process. I used Tableau analytics here. Okay. Then this is what I did as a ETL pipeline. This is how I started out. And then because the job description was completely about Python, like they wanted a
Mhm.
Python developer. So I also
Mhm.
created a separate section for my Python skills. So you see,
Okay.
how are my Python skills when it comes to data engineering? How is it when it comes to web development, parallel programming, networking, scientific computing, automation testing? So I created a
Mhm.
separate section for it,
Okay.
because that job required a Python developer. Now, if the job did not require a Python developer, I would have probably not created this Python skills section. Okay.
Okay.
So these are the things. So when someone is looking, so people are going to look for keywords in your resume. So they are going to
Mhm.
look for Python skills, and they have a section where they can just look at Python skills and decide whether they want to take my resume further or not.
Okay.
Okay. So first objective is to get your resume past the recruiter. They need to call you for an interview, and this is how you can make an impact. Okay.
Okay.
Right. You also see that my resume is just one page.
Yes. Yes.
I have tried to
Yeah.
explain everything here in one page, and
Mm.
it's short, but it has all the necessary points that I want a recruiter to know. Like I
Mhm.
have keywords like Django, Plotly, Tableau, Daxter, Amazon Web Services, DBT, Spark,
Yeah.
SQL. So I have all. So what I did was I went through the LinkedIn job description or the job
Okay.
description on the website. I picked up the keywords
Okay.
they need, and I made sure I put that in my resume, because a lot of
Okay.
the companies actually use an automated CV reading system. Have you
Yes.
gone through a process where you upload a resume and then your details are already filled up?
No.
Yeah,
No.
these days it's happening. So let's say you apply for MasterCard or some other company, big companies, small
Mhm.
companies, everyone. So what happens if you
Okay.
upload your resume, then your details are automatically filled up, because there is a automated system that reads your resume, finds out keywords, and then automatically fills the system.
Okay.
So you need to have important keywords in your resume for that relevant job description that you're applying for.
Okay.
Yeah. Secondly, notice here that I have my LinkedIn profile.
Yes.
I did not see a LinkedIn profile in your
In my
resume.
resume.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
LinkedIn is like the go-to website for any kind of professional deal these days. Okay. So
Okay.
if you are doing something, people are going to find you on LinkedIn.
Okay.
You are applying for a job, you need to mention your LinkedIn profile and you need to improve your LinkedIn profile. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the something I would definitely recommend you doing. Now, I already said that your resume is too long. Let's
Yeah.
go through the first section, that is your professional summary. Now, to be honest, you are already mentioning your experience summary here, companies you worked for,
Hmm.
and also the various projects that you have done.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you do not have to mention a professional summary that again talks about what kind of job you have done, like you are good at oops concept or Django framework, like tools like ID, like Anaconda, PyCharm, Vim. I mean, these are very redundant statements that are just taking up
Hmm.
space in your resume. Now,
Okay.
I'm not saying mine is the best way, but see, this is the summary I wrote, one line summary. Passionate and motivated programmer interested in developing high-end applications for the betterment of society. Okay.
Got it.
Now maybe it won't work for you, but this is the
Hmm.
proper this is the true representation of me. So that's what I wrote.
Okay.
So similarly,
Yeah.
in your resume, you need to mention something instead of mentioning professional summary here, because you're
Hmm.
already explaining a lot of work here. So you can
Yeah.
easily, in my opinion, you can easily take out this section and write,
Okay.
like I mentioned, people are also looking for personality, what kind of person you are. You can
Yeah.
mention something like that about you, you know like I am a highly motivated programmer, uh, mother and a programmer. I mean, there are a lot of things you can think of that basically
Yeah.
gives a perspective into what kind of a person you are, right?
Got it.
Yeah. So next, you see I have also a personality section here, you
Yeah.
know
I have
uh,
seen it.
doesn't matter what you are, doesn't matter what you think, but I want to tell people these are the kind of things that define me. So when they interview
Okay.
me, they will make sure that okay, I am actually one of these things, and it gives
Okay.
a knowledge about what kind of a team player I'm going to be. Okay,
Hmm.
so critical thinker, goal oriented, proactive, team player, multitasking, passionate.
Yeah.
Just a few insights into who you are. I think that's really going to help your resume. So I think you should have a personality section in your resume, and instead of a
Okay.
professional summary, you should have an introduction summary, like just a summary, one line summary
Okay.
of who you are. Okay.
Okay. Fine. Yeah.
Now, again, I already told you that I don't see Django experience here. So if you are applying for Django, for a Django job, like
Hmm.
I have, like I created a separate section, Python skills. You can have, you can have a section here called Django projects in Django, and you can talk about your
Okay.
GitHub projects and give the link here for your GitHub accounts where you have that
Okay.
posted.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that would really help in telling them, okay, this is why you are applying for a Django project, and this is
Uh,
why you are trying, you are moving away from the experience you have to a Django project. Or let's say you change your mind about Django later, you say, okay, I am going into automated testing. Have a
hmm.
separate section, easy to read.
Okay.
It's difficult to read notes like various lines. For example, if you go back to your
Yeah.
resume,
Completely got your point and agree with it.
like for example, it's difficult for someone to read all these points what you have
Hmm.
done, because there are a lot of things you have done. I see you have done some data engineering, I see you
Yeah.
have some Hive experience. uh,
Yes.
Instead of doing writing these lines,
Hmm.
have a section where it's more visual. So I think that will
Okay.
really help, and it will be short also, it will be concise, so your resume will,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
And that will be eye catcher as well.
Yes, exactly. That will be a big eye catch. And actually, these are important keywords: data engineering, web development, automation, testing. These are very important keywords in your resume. So it will be really good
Hmm.
for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so this was an update on your resume. Like, I don't think you need to write so many points. Here you can see Um, I have mentioned the role. I have mentioned the company name. I have written here in
Yeah.
small what the company does, like in 5, 6 words. And then I have written
Okay.
in very short what I have done. See, the thing is, people are not going to recruit you just on the basis of your resume. All right.
Yes. Yes.
You will have an interview, more than one interview. You will maybe go through a programming round. So you don't need to mention everything on your resume. Just
Okay.
highlight the important keywords based on the job requirement.
Okay.
Okay. So so basically this was basically the suggested updates that you need to do in your resume. How did you find this section? Was it helpful to you?
Definitely. It's more useful for me.
Okay.
I feel now I am outdated.
No, it happens. It took me 4 years to learn how to write a resume, and I
Okay.
think it happens with anyone. Now that you are searching for jobs, I think
Yeah.
one key thing to discuss now is, tell me 5 skills you are very confident about.
One thing is Python,
Okay.
code version control, Git,
Git.
Git.
Git. Okay. You are good about,
Uh,
you're good with Git.
yeah,
What kind of a person are you? Git merge or Git rebase?
Git rebase.
Git rebase. Okay, me too. All right. Just asking. What else?
Yeah, and automation.
Automation and testing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
is 1, 2, 3, 4. And tell me one more skill.
Look, now I am not sure of core Java how confident I am because I have not even brushed up.
Okay.
So I do not want to put it.
What about SQL?
I am an intermediate
Okay.
level.
So I would recommend you that take 3 months of your time. I think 3 months
Okay.
is a good timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Start brushing up. Start with SQL, because no matter
Okay.
where you work, SQL is, you're
Uh-huh.
going to need SQL. You don't have to be a data engineer for that. You need
Okay.
to learn SQL, and
Okay.
so take your time. You can Google
Mm-hmm.
Mode SQL, MODE SQL, and
Okay.
they have a really, the Mode platform has a really good SQL course, and you can easily learn pretty much every SQL that you need, the commands and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So brush up on
Okay.
those skills, improve your
Okay.
SQL skills.
Okay.
Next, I would say if you're confident about Python, then I
Mm.
would recommend you to first brush up on PyTest. So basically testing.
Uh-huh.
Make sure you're really good at it. Any kind of question they ask, and
Uh-huh.
you need to think about it from a job perspective. All right. When you're doing
Yeah.
testing, think about,
Mm.
let's say you're applying for a Django position. You need to talk
Okay.
about how you can use testing in Django environment. So you need to prepare yourself that way. Not just learn the basics of PyTest, but learn it from a perspective of a framework. So let's say you
Okay.
are in proper software development, you're just building features for a company. How would you use testing in that department? If you're a web developer using Django, how would you use testing in Django? So from that perspective, think about PyTest, do some exercises, and make sure you always push everything you do to GitHub so people can review your code. That's very important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I would recommend you that maybe if you are sure, I think it's important that you're sure about what you want to do. Okay. Like
Mm.
if you're
Yeah.
sure about Django, and I'm going to
Mm.
recommend you from a Django perspective, but it can change. It changes for everyone, but it changes, then
Yeah.
you have to change your methodology accordingly. Okay.
Okay.
So let's say in 6 months, you're going to start applying for Django jobs. Okay.
Okay.
What should you do? What should you do so you are completely prepared for a Django job in the next 6 months, and you are
Mm.
actually, and the recruiters actually take interest in you, in your resume?
Mm.
So
Okay.
the first thing you need to do is start creating really good projects in Django. Okay, because you don't have a
Okay.
professional experience in Django, you have to
Mm.
create some projects on your own. Okay.
Yes.
uh, you need to have a proper website. Invest in a
Mm.
domain name, invest in
Okay.
a Droplet, DigitalOcean,
Mm.
any or AWS EC2, whatever, and
Okay.
actually build a website that you can send them saying, okay, this is the website I built from scratch.
Mhm.
This is what it does. These are the
Yeah.
concepts I used. Have a really good GitHub profile,
Okay.
documentation, everything, and share that link with them so they see, okay, these are the things that the person has done. For example, the person knows Django comes with SQLite 3, okay? But
Yes. Yes.
say I'm using MySQL database. So this person
Mhm.
knows how to change SQLite to MySQL database, how to
Yeah.
transfer old data from one database to new database. Okay.
Yeah.
For example, you are using RabbitMQ to
Mhm.
do distributed tasks in Django.
Yeah.
So mention that in your resume so people know, okay, she knows how to use RabbitMQ in Django. She knows how to build
Mhm.
simple views in Django. She knows how to work with databases in Django.
Yeah.
Document everything. Make it like a 4 month project and
Mhm.
document everything.
Mhm.
Now, you might think, okay, what kind of things I should have in the website that actually looks good to a recruiter? Okay. Like you
Okay.
can do everything with Django, but it still might not be enough. So let me show you one more thing. I will share my screen again. So here I have on LinkedIn, I have a Python developer job from Dexel
Okay.
Bangalore, and they're looking for
Uh-huh.
Django here. Okay. You can see
Mhm.
looking for Django here.
Yes. Yes.
So in these 6 months, do these things. Go to Stack Overflow jobs or go to LinkedIn and look for these desired skills and experience.
Yeah.
And then tick mark all the skills that you have. Okay.
Okay.
For example, you have Python skills. It's a
Yeah.
tick. When you have time, brush up on some Python skills.
Uh-huh.
You know a little bit of Django. You're not too much
Yeah.
experience, but you want to improve it. So this is something that you need to do something about. Okay. Start building a
Yeah.
project in Django, like I said, and you'll be very good.
Mhm.
HTML, CSS. Let's say you don't have experience with HTML, CSS. You need to learn
I
HTML, CSS. I'm giving an
I
example.
have like intermediate level here
Yeah,
as
yeah, no,
well.
I'm just giving an example, like,
Yeah. Yeah. Fine.
so this is how you know what kind of skills are required in the market. So what are
Mhm.
actually recruiters looking for? Look at multiple jobs, see what
Okay.
skills and experience they're looking for. So that's how you
Okay.
choose the topics that you want to include in your Django project. For example, they want to include celery here. You see,
Mhm. Yeah.
okay. That is again for distributed queuing. Now, you
Okay.
if they are looking for people who know celery, maybe it's nice to learn a little bit of celery with Django. Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes. Yes. Completely understand.
Yes. So this is something I would say is something you should work on. So this is how actually you find skills that is required in the current market.
Okay.
Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this session of discussion of how to move ahead. So I would say take 6 months of your time. For the
Mhm.
first 2 months, brush up on your skills. SQL is very important. Automated
Okay.
testing is something you are very good at. So I think you should brush
Okay.
it up a little bit more. So
Okay.
you are pro at it. And then spend the next 4 months building your Django project, improving your book management system, add
Okay.
features of your own, try to implement celery and other things how you can do it in your Django
Mhm.
project so you have a little bit
Okay.
of experience. And in 6 months you should most importantly make changes to your resume. That's I think the most
Yeah.
important thing. Okay.
Okay.
So in 6 months I think you should be well good and ready to start
Mhm.
applying for jobs, and you will start getting calls as well based on your requirement.
Okay.
So what do you think of this session?
This was very much useful. How to make changes to my resume and what skills I need to brush up.
Yeah, yeah. So do you think you have a nice road like in front of you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Some things made very clear to me
Okay.
what I should change.
And what are the things that are still not clear? That you have any questions?
Yes. Yes. How about data structures?
So data structures, like what do you want? From what perspective are you asking?
Like I'm seeing in few job descriptions, they are expecting people know more of data structures and dynamic programming kind of things.
Okay, but like, see, one of the things that you have to be good at is saying no and saying yes. Like, look, there are 5,000 Django developer jobs in the market.
Hmm.
You
Okay.
cannot go ahead and learn every skill they're expecting. Okay,
Correct.
that's just impossible. Instead of being jack of everything, like, you should be specialized in a few of the fields that you're very good at and the most
Okay.
important things. So data structures have a basic understanding of data structure, Python data structure, string, list, dictionary, tuple, set, everything.
Yeah, these all things I can say I'm a pro at it, but coming to the this what you
Well,
say
when
stack
people talk
view.
about data structure, it's actually how you use them in your code. So
Huh?
it's mostly like, they will tell you, okay, let's say you go through a programming interview, and they will
Mhm.
look at your code and say, okay, your code is O and n to the power 2 complex. So it's not
Mhm.
highly efficient. How can you
Yeah.
improve? Like, how can you efficiently use data structure in your code? What should be a list? What should be a set? What should be a tuple? How can you store data? So
Okay.
people mention it because it's an important aspect of programming and you should learn about it. But
Mhm.
again, there is nothing specific that you need to go into. Unless you want to go into, then you can get some book on Python data structures. They're just going to tell you about all kinds of data structures, all kind of methods you can learn on a list, dictionary, how to do multiple things. I mean, I think if you work on your Python skills regularly, you do your
Mhm.
Django project, you figure out how to improve your Django project every day, you learn them anyway. So
Okay.
still, I would recommend data structure is very important, and you should actually spend some time learning about it. But basics, in my opinion, is enough.
Okay. Okay. And any suggestions where I can get some good Django videos to learn?
Django videos, just you can find it on the internet, honestly. And but there is a good YouTube channel. It's called Django, Just Django. So I
Okay.
would say go to Just Django and do it. There
Mhm.
are really good Django videos there. And but most importantly, DigitalOcean also has a very good Django description of how to start a project, how to do things there. I think you should also
Okay.
take a look there, because
Mhm.
just type in DigitalOcean Django and you'll come across some
Yeah.
blogs how to start Django, and you should be good to go.
And where can I practice Python programs? Some complex level, not hard.
Go to Edabit.
I,
Go to Edabit. Edabit.com.
okay,
Edabit.com.
sure.
So, any other questions?
Uh, and how to get my resume shortlisted from Naukari?
I have never used Naukri. I think
Okay.
LinkedIn is your best bet, and I already
Uh-huh.
told you a lot of points you can do with your resume.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely, I'm going to change over it.
Yes, yes. So, yeah. Any other questions?
And I have my Amazon interview headed up 5 days after 5 days.
Okay.
So, any suggestions?
Oh, I mean, they're going to go through a lot of programming test. Uh,
Hmm.
I think just do some Edabit programming. Before,
Okay.
spend 2-3 hours doing some programming challenges. Um,
Okay.
Spend some time learning binary tree. I think they
Mm-hmm.
really like their binary trees. They ask in a lot of
Okay.
interviews. But
Mm-hmm.
5 days, I would say it's more about you. I think you have to decide what to do based on the job description. Actually, what is the job about?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope it was useful to you this session, and you
Yeah.
got a good idea of the road ahead.
Yeah.
So
I would like to share what are the key takeaways from this
yes,
session.
please go ahead.
Firstly, like I completely have to change my resume so that it should be eye catcher,
Yeah,
that it should get picked up on the top.
yeah,
and what are the things I need to change in my resume. These are the things from regarding my resume, and a few what to say, and what are the skill sets I need to work on, I need to brush up, and I need to learn.
Okay. And how you can also search for LinkedIn jobs? Like how can you
Okay.
search for the skill sets through the LinkedIn
Yeah.
jobs or the Stack Overflow jobs? And also, I
Yeah.
think you also need to work on your communication a little bit. I would say that's very important.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you will be good. Don't worry. If you have any other questions, just ping me on my Instagram.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, and if you liked this session and you thought it was useful, I would request you to share my Instagram with a few of your friends, people who are into
Mm.
programming. So
Yeah.
if they have any questions and they want to have a chat like this, they can also join.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you very much. Hope you have a
I
great
should
day.
thank you very much more than you.
No, no, it was pleasure talking to you, and
Yeah.
congratulations again on your twins.
Thanks. Thanks.
All right. See you.
Yeah.